Charmin, founder and CEO of Creative Girls Rock. I am originally from Joliet, Illinois, outside of Chicago, and I grew up in a home community-based. My parents were both heavily involved in the community as well as my church community, and I feel like I just witnessed being a part of or just give back in youth development. My mom was executive director of a nonprofit organization called the Harvey Brooks Foundation, and that was, I feel like, my lifestyle. I went to school and then I went to the center to be a part of that foundation, working with my mother. So as I got older, I ran from it. I'm like, I'm not doing any nonprofit work. I've been there, done that. I want to go into fashion. I want to be a retail buyer for Macy's in New York. And I was able to accomplish that goal. I graduated from Tennessee State University with a degree in fashion merchandising, and I was blessed to receive a position in New York at Macy's corporate. And during that time, heavily involved in the community again, but I started to tap into the arts component. I've always been crafty with arts and crafts and doing centerpieces here and there in my home. And that turned into something that I didn't think I was going to be a part of right now. Obviously, there's more to the story, but that role in New York, being in the community, I wanted to get involved or learn more about nonprofit management. So I moved back to Nashville, attended Trevecca Nazarene University, and got my master's degree in organizational leadership and nonprofit management, learning the ins and outs of nonprofit, how to start one. And my thesis, like my final project, was to create a business plan of a nonprofit. So I created a business plan just to graduate, but to run a nonprofit specifically for girls and women to tap into their creative talents, whatever that looks like. It could be dance, visual arts, performing arts, any of the art. And I turned that paper in, I graduated, and I left it there. And about a year later, God brought back to my spirit, was like, hey, this is what you're gonna do. And I'm like, no way, it can't be. And here we are. A person would be my mother. I mentioned that I grew up in a home that was heavily involved in community engagement and just pouring constantly into the community and had fun and doing it, right? I could see the joy that it brought my parents. And so I would say, again, my mother is executive director of a nonprofit back in Joliet, Illinois, and I watched her go through this process. And so I would say my mom. If I was to speak to my younger self, I would say slow down. Live for today. Yes, we can have goals and aspirations, which I feel you should write those down. You should manifest those, but just be present in the moment. There's a lot where I was just moving like this and I didn't take in the opportunities that I was blessed with. And so here I am now, years later, taking my time and just really being present and intentional about my relationships and what I'm involved in. How I have made an impact in this community. Charmin is a go-getter. You tell me no, okay, I'm going to try a different way. I'll go to someone else or I'll come up with a different plan. I've been like that my entire life. And I would say a part of that is a blessing because I want to give. I want to be able to impact. If you have a desire or some type of dream you want to accomplish, I want to help you get there. And that's how I use my gifts, my God-given talents, to provide resources for you to accomplish those goals in an innovative way, whatever that is, and getting creative and tapping a little bit more into your creativity to accomplish those goals. Relationships are your greatest resource. And so how I have seen the Black community show up is just being present and supporting, whether it's an event or if there is a need in the community. I work a lot with kids, and a lot of my network, they see the work that we're doing. They're like, hey, how can I help? So it could be as simply as volunteering to, you can make a donation. I have a friend that has donated supplies to be a part of our Creative Kids Rock Incentive Program, where kids can go shop in our CKR store for different things that they love, like Roblox cards. And that's donated from some of my community partners. And so I think that could be a way that our community shows up for each other. It doesn't always have to be monetary. It could just be present, or like, how can I help you? Someone asked me the other day, how can I pour into you? And it just blew my mind. I'm like, okay, I had to think about it. How can you pour into me? You know what? I'm drained. Let's just have a conversation and not talk about work. But that is a way that I have seen our community to show up for each other. What a game changer means to me is just tapping into your creativity, being innovative, not the standard, being okay with change and willing to adapt to different things that are taking place within the community, and then how you can use or how you could enhance that particular initiative or project in an innovative way to have a greater impact. What wisdom I would share would go back to remember your why. A lot of the work that I can speak for myself, a lot of the work that I do, you're constantly pouring and pouring and pouring to the community, which sometimes can get draining. It can get tough. And then to the point where you're like, how did I get here? But what keeps me going is remembering why I started. Why did this even come about? And then sometimes watching some of the videos from our girls opening their craft kits, or we're in the school system and how the kids are responding to a certain project. And that's a reminder of, okay, all that hard work, it pays off because of the impact that it has on our participants. What I'm excited about is our new collaboration center with the 50 Forward Bordeaux. So our new facility is called Forward Creative Commons at Bordeaux. It's a collaboration hub with Creative Girls Rock and 50 Forward. This will be a safe space for both youth and seniors, older adults, to come and be a part of our programming and tapping and just enhancing our programming. The sky is the limit. And so I'm really excited about that. That will be ready in 2026. So get ready.